Hey, it's Fiona Bennett, and I wanted to talk to you today about women who are just in this holding pattern in their life. And I've been there, I know what that's like, and it's unpleasant. It's unpleasant for you, and it's unpleasant for everyone else. And you might think that you are doing a favor for your kids and you're doing a favor for your husband or your partner or your parents or whoever it is you think you're doing this big favor for. Um, I know I went for years, I went to counseling, and I would say, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. So you got to help me stay in this thing. And I would say it thinking that I was doing this really wonderful thing, that I was being this martyr by saying that, like I'm fucking miserable in this, but but you're going to help me stay in this thing. And like it was some kind of virtue to do that. And really, it was totally for me. It wasn't helping anyone. I was miserable in my life. And it was so obvious I was miserable in my life. It was obvious to my partner. I was making my partner's life hell. It was obvious to my children. I wasn't there for my children. I was so completely self-absorbed with what was going on in my relationship that I wasn't able to be there for my children. I was totally wrapped up in myself. I was totally asking the question all the time, like, what about me? What about me? What about me? And yet at the same time saying, I'm going to stick this out. I'm going to stick this out, and thinking that this was such a good thing. And my life was just passing me by day after day after day, passing me by, passing him by, passing my kids by. And what a horrible existence that we called life. And, that is how I know so many of you are living. And you go through this tug of war inside where you are staying and going and staying and going and staying and going. And I'm using the analogy of a relationship. That was my experience. But a lot of you are maybe living that way in other areas of your life too. Maybe it's not a relationship. Maybe your relationship is really happy, but you're in a job that you just hate. You hate it. You get up in the morning and you're sick to your stomach at the idea of having to go to that job. Or you're sitting at a computer doing a course that you absolutely hate, and it's sucking every ounce of life out of you, and you have no passion for it whatsoever. That is not the way that you should be living your life. That is not the way life was meant to be lived. And so I'm here because I know the difference between what it's like to be in life like that and in life not like that. In life where you're in it because you're really in it. You're living your life. You're actually staying where you are because you're fully engaged where you are. And that doesn't mean that there aren't times where you're not unhappy or dissatisfied, because for sure there are times where that happens, and yet you are still completely in it. And there is a process where you are able to work with the people, the universe, yourself, and get the most out of life. Put the most into life so that your life is a rich and meaningful experience. And that is what I wish for everyone. And it doesn't have to be, well, I can't do that because these are the choices that I've already made. I have posted on my Facebook group a quote, and it got me all riled up. So that's why I'm talking to you. And it was, for what it's worth, it's never too late to be whatever you want to be, whoever you want to be. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start over. That was F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I hope that for you. It is never too late. I hope you have the strength to start over. And if you don't have it on your own, I hope you reach out to someone who helps you find the strength to start over. It isn't easy to do it on your own. It takes confidence, and we don't always have that within ourselves that we can recognize. Sometimes we need somebody to help us see the confidence in ourselves. Sometimes we don't see it, and that's okay. I have some examples for you of people women who started later in life. Judge Judy was 52 when her show started. 52. So if you're not started on your next path, on your path of greatness right now, don't give up. Vera Wang was 40 before she started her line of bridal wear. She had been doing other things, but she wasn't completely fulfilled and in doing what she's meant to be doing until she was 40. Karen Barber is someone you might not have heard of, and I hadn't heard of her, but I saw her in an Oprah article, and she's 41 when she went from a stay-at-home mom to an adventure travel entrepreneur and created an amazing, successful business for herself. So, and I didn't start this life coaching business until much later in my life. I was certified in 2005 and then again in 2009. And, I was no spring chicken then, but I didn't really start throwing myself into helping other women on this level until much later. So you don't need to have figured it all out in your 20s. Who has done that? I mean, you're really lucky if you have done that. Most people have many evolutions in their life. And I don't know if all of my evolutions are finished now. There might be, I know already there's so many more things that I still want to do. I know already that I'm not completely done with the goals that I want to achieve. I just know that I know how to do it now. And I know that I'm never going to let myself be in that state of miserable again, because I don't have to. It's up to me. It's my choice. So you don't have to stay in a state of miserable. You can choose to be happy and fulfilled and have a happy and fulfilling life. If you aren't living that way right now, you don't have to stay in a state of miserable. And if your relationship isn't happy and fulfilling right now, it doesn't mean you have to abandon ship. When you learn how to take care of yourself, when you learn how to stop asking, well, what about me? What about me? What about me? You can take care of your needs and you can inspire your partner to take care of theirs. You can be inspirational to each other. You can create a loving partnership. It is possible. Is it always possible? No, not necessarily. But is it possible? Yes, absolutely. So I have some clients who have been able to create the loving, caring, beautiful relationship that they are deserving of with the relationship they're already in. And I have others who are able to say that this relationship was not the one that is going to take them into the future, but it is the one that has taught them amazing lessons and see the gifts in each other so that it doesn't end in hatred, anger, bitterness, and resentment. It can end in compassion. It can end with the gift of the relationship. So together, they can move into the next step of their lives kindly, lovingly. So it's still a win-win. Either way, it's a win-win. But if you're in a place where you're miserable, there's no winning for anybody in that situation. So please, if you are stuck somewhere, whether it's in your career, personally, or in a relationship, don't stay there. Don't stay stuck. There is no need to stay stuck. Reach out and I will be happy to talk to you about how to change the ways that are keeping you stuck right now so that you can move into a much happier, more joyful, freer way of living your life. You can find me through my Facebook page or through my website, lifelearningstrategies.com, or email me at bennett.lifelearningstrategies@gmail.com. And I would love to talk to you and help you take the next step on your journey to be happier, freer, more joyful.